several gazillion specific moments which finally made this happen. Guys, since I was young, I always felt like I have an inner grandmom. In simple terms, if I have to tell why I didn't continue, literally gas ran out. That was what happened. Aunties, uncles, doesn't matter. Guys, I've got the same feedback. You need to start a podcast.
What kind of relationship do you want to build with your YouTube audience?
Ooh, very deep question. What I enjoy doing the most is dishing out gyan. Hey everyone, Poonam Bajwa here for those who don't know. Guys, today's is a special episode. It has been a whole year since we started the channel. Can you believe that? Now I know all of us are on the same trip saying, you know what, time is just flying. And my conclusion was that time is flying only when you're having a good time. The YouTube journey honestly was one of the most challenging things I've done in my life, which I will explain later in the video. And I know a lot of you have a lot of questions that you are already there on Instagram. Pretty much everywhere. Also Facebook. You've also done movies. So why YouTube? Guys, I will be answering all questions related to the channel today in this episode. So let's get started. So why YouTube specifically and not just Instagram? Guys, for those of you who also follow me on Instagram, now that has a theme. I have always associated being on Instagram more with color, more with the pictures I put when I'm vacationing. For all of you who do not know, there are a lot of pictures of me from my holidays, which are mostly on the beach, where I do these stretchy poses. Yeah, that is Instagram. And apparently, I have been told so without any boasting that I also have a mind which thinks pretty decent. And again, this whole, a place where I kind of give, I don't want to call it life advice, but that's what it was. Anyways, I thought YouTube was the perfect place to start doing that. Again, guys, I have done movies, please understand. But movies में क्या होता है? You're playing a role which has been conceptualized by someone else. Director का एक vision होता है, आप वो role कर रहे हो. Guys, I've done movies only in the South, which is all in languages that I really don't think in, even though I understand it. So whether it's Tamil, Telugu, Malayalam or Kannada, these are not languages I can think in. So वो एक कसर थी कि यार, how do I express myself, being myself in a language that I think? And again, like all Indians, my thinking language is English. Yeah, mostly English, but lots of Hindi in it. And वो सोच के साथ मुझे जो बोलना है अपनी audience को, अपने fans को, I just wanted to put it out there and see how useful it would be to whoever. Also, guys, this is where I'm giving gyan and I'm being a little more intellectual, I think, as compared to how my image on social media is. So I was told by a lot of friends, you know what, only those who really love you will subscribe to the YouTube channel, क्योंकि यहाँ पे तुम ज्ञान बांट रहे हो, which I think is a fantastic way of finding out who your real admirers are. So guys, this was my motivation and incentive actually to start the channel.
Was there a specific moment or incident that pushed you towards this?
I'll be honest, guys, it was several gazillion specific moments which finally made this happen. So I had started this around, I think 2 years or 3 years back, the first attempt at launching a channel. In simple terms, if I have to tell why I didn't continue, literally gas ran out. That was what happened. Like I shot 2 days and did around 6 episodes, and then somewhere I think I lost because it was a new thing I was doing. Please understand, this is a very new muscle, okay? यहाँ पे कुछ director, producer, editor, AD कुछ नहीं है. Okay, there is this team and then there is you. And then you're trying to figure, okay, listen, I need to talk now. I need to kind of think while being this certain way. So that happened and then it went kind of in slumber and I forgot about it. Then of course there were people around me in my team, well-wishers and then friends who were like, listen, you had started a channel, what happened? You had started vlogging, what happened? You speak so well, what happened? And jahan pe bhi main jaun, wherever I sit, it can be a party, it can be just a cup of chai I'm having with some friends, aunties, uncles, doesn't matter. Guys, I've got the same feedback. You need to start a podcast. What you're saying should be on a podcast. We will come and speak on. That's all I heard. And I heard it around 1,000 times before deciding that I'm guessing this is a sign from the universe, because again, I was not super enthused to start. But this is what when people are telling you, it kind of slowly built up. And then last year, I think somewhere around my birthday was when it was like, okay, this is it. I need to do this because I'm hitting 4-0 and people do some adventurous epic stuff. Guys, this was my adventure.
what made you finally decide to start your YouTube channel now?
Oh God, I didn't know this was the next question. I mean, I knew it is, but I didn't think of it, guys. So I actually already told, because this was building since the last 2 or 3 years. When, you know, these several moments where like, oh, I need to start vlogging again, or kind of create longer videos where I'm talking and the world can receive the gift of my voice, if you want to say it like that. Yeah, that happened, guys. And it just culminated in, okay, listen, birthday's coming, I have to do something, anything, little bit. So yeah, that was, I think, the tipping point. That, oh, if I don't do it now, I'll do it only 10 years later. And 10 years later, I'll be like, oh, if I'd started 10 years earlier. So let's not do that, let's start today. That is how it happened.
As someone used to scripted work, how does it feel to be yourself on camera? What was the biggest mental shift you had to make before starting?
Okay guys, I had a bunch of challenges while starting out this channel. It's not as simple as you just put a camera and start talking. Ideally, I thought it'll be. I don't know how many of you are aware, but most of you have been following my pictures and videos that I put on Instagram. 99% of the content is not edited. By not edited, I mean my proportions are not edited. How I am on that day when the picture was taken or the video was shot is what comes. Is what you see on your phone screen. So guys, last year this time, I think, you know, as a girl, but especially as an actress, if you've been a heroine, and a lot of your identity becomes about your appearance. Like there's so much of energy that goes into the visual. By default, I think even a regular lady wants to look nice and look young and look all of that. Now, if you're from the movies, just multiply that by 1,000. So it's all skin and hair and figure and youth and all of those things, which was also me. I'm not very different. Now, these were not in my favor when I started the channel. Obviously, due to my lifestyle, lack of discipline, whatever, we can blame it on 1,000 things. This was now the heaviest that I've ever been. And it was after very long, I was seeing myself shot, you know, from a DSLR video. And I think half my mental energy went in just trying to watch myself. Yeah, the first 2 to 3 episodes, guys, I'm not kidding. It was traumatic for me to see myself on the thing, because it's shot well, lighting is great, concept is great. I even speak well, but the visual was like, oh my God, I didn't know this is what had become. Because I think in the mirror, when you see yourself in the mirror, your head tells you a lot of things just to keep it cool. So that was the first 2 or 3 months of beginning this channel was actually quite stressful. And I know that sounds funny, and you won't believe how many people have found that so funny, because their logic was, channel tumhara, team tumhara, theek hai? These are one who's shooting, one who's content creating, one who's doing hair and makeup. They are all my people. The shoot is in my house. The topic is whatever I want to choose. The dress is whatever I want to wear from my cupboard. But guys, trust me when I tell you, those were the strongest stress symptoms or cortisol spikes I've had in the last 10 years. My mouth would go dry. My armpits would be sweating. Okay, I'm putting deodorant, drinking water, doing a... Okay, what do we talk about next? And guys, talking has never been a stress quotient for me. I'm a talker, if not nothing else. But this is how it was at the start when we started the channel. Every time there would be a shoot planned. One more thing, guys, it was never early morning shoot also. Our average time of starting the shoot was around 3:30 in the afternoon. So I made it as easy as possible for myself, after which it was still stressful because this was basically a new area. And I was also dealing with the changes that I just mentioned. So that is how it was.
What scares you the most about this whole YouTube journey?
It was mainly having to watch myself. When every time you see it, or you know, the reel would come, or I would open YouTube and see the episode I have done. Now I would get so consumed with, oh my God, this is how I look. Oh, I need to sit like this. I need to tuck my stomach in. Okay, how do I tuck this in? How do I tuck this in? This is all there. How do I dress so I look thinner? Okay, that all happened. We all have these inner demons, right? This inner chatter. Forget what the person in front of you is saying. There's your own self-depreciating narrative that's happening. Guys, this is when I think this very micro mini self-realization happened. Like, oh God, okay, physically I look like this, but my own kind of narrative is so... I don't know, I'm not getting the right word. Cruel, I would say. I wouldn't speak like this to anybody, not even to someone I hate. But for myself, this was there. And then it was, okay, you know what? I need to start focusing more on my personality. Now it cannot be about how good I look or how thin my waist is. This is all personality, this is all mind, this is all talking, and this is all a personal interaction with whoever is watching. So guys, this was the scariest part. I would say the stress I got before we started the shoot. Oh God, how do I kind of style myself to look a little better? Oh, and what do I say? Because guys, 10 minutes sounds very easy, right? Oh, I'll give you a topic, talk for 10 minutes. I would sometimes just kind of get juiced out of ideas by the 4th minute. So yeah, those were the, I wouldn't say it's scary today, but yeah, it was very scary then.
Are you worried about judgment or trolling when you become more real?
Guys, that I was prepared for the simple reason that I have done it. The judgment and trolling. No, I don't go make memes and troll actresses. But back in the day, let's say when I wasn't from the industry, or even today, it still happens sometimes. You see a picture or you see a video or you see a certain actor express an opinion. There is judgment. Who does she think she is? What is he trying to do? You know, why are they trying this new thing is not even working? They should just stick to doing those kind of roles. Why are they experimenting? I have done it, guys. I have done it. And I empathize with all other humans and I knew it's going to happen. Where probably I will get questions, where probably I had, people call and tell me like, oh God, you put on so much weight. What happened? I know, they're well-wishers. And I knew it'll happen. So I went in prepared, guys. I went in prepared like, okay, this is what has happened. I am promising myself one thing, myself, the person I see in the mirror, the conscience that I'm answerable to. I promise myself this one thing, that I will consistently shoot for the next 1 year, okay, irrespective of so-called, of course this comes into play, right, subscribers and how's the channel doing, and it was purely I would say like a project that you do for yourself where this didn't matter. And that is when I decided, okay, judgment is going to come. I will be asked questions and my flaws are out there for people to see. Also, guys, you cannot, means you can, but it's too cumbersome. So when I saw those 10-minute videos, obviously I has to think like, can I, get some editor to kind of make me leaner or kind of not so broad, because if this is the frame, I'm occupying 3/4 of it. Yeah, all that happened. And I was like, no, I'm not doing that. This goes on the way it is. So that was decided, I think, before we started the channel.
We've seen you making many sorts of content that would be trending reels, trending shorts, and YouTube vlogs of lifestyle, fitness, gyan, all of that. But what kind of content do you genuinely see yourself enjoying consistently?
I don't want to say it, guys, because there are almost 1,000 people who'll say, we told you so, first only. You know how it is here. You want to discover it yourself, they're not letting you discover. They want to come give you advice, and just to rebel against them, you don't do it. Okay, guys, I have been told since I was this much. By this much, I mean 4 or 5. I don't know how many of you have heard, in therapy they use this, there's an inner child. You have an inner child who's wounded, the inner child is in trauma, the inner child has to be healed. I totally get it. And only thing is I didn't identify. Because guys, since I was young, I always felt like I have an inner grandmom. यहाँ पे अंदर एक नानी या दादी है who's just waiting to give advice to somebody. And for some reason, this has always been the case. If I saw someone in distress, I just felt like, oh, I have that piece of advice which will change their life. And they should come and tell me, oh, you changed our life. ये मेरा बचपन से था, ये आज तक नहीं गया है. So guys, what I enjoy doing the most is dishing out gyan. For the simple reason that if I don't do it, it starts collecting in my head. And I'm just scared my head will get really big one day with all the gyan that's collecting. So whether it's called dishing out advice or having a podcast or, talking about things that can make life simpler for those who are listening, I think to date that is my core passion. Again, it's not reached that stage where I can do this 24/7. Which is why I do trending reels and I do silly stuff like that. It's just to give a breather. I need to do fun stuff to keep the balance. But given a choice, I need a couch and a listener and that's it. I think we can shoot podcasts for the whole year.
What kind of relationship do you want to build with your YouTube audience?
Ooh, very deep question. A lot of them have told me like, I don't know, ma'am, we feel like we know you. We know you from home or we know you from childhood or, sometimes they'll write like, oh, I don't know, I feel like you're one of my cousins. There would be this cousin who came in summer vacation who was just cute and kind of gave it, whatever. Had this. A lot of them have told that. Like, we feel you're from our home or we find you relatable. And I think that's exactly how I want it to be. Where those who are listening feel like I'm one of them and that I know them.
Is there any perspective change?
Yeah.
From starting to till today with regards to YouTube?
Okay. So is there any perspective change regards to YouTube in the last 1 year? From when I started to today. Sorry, not 360. I think you're supposed to say 180, which is I thought it was like this and it is like this. Because I just found out 360 is you take a circle and come back to the same place. Yeah, it's been a 180-degree shift with regards to how I perceived. You have these preconceived notions, right? अच्छा ब्लॉगिंग ऐसा रहता है, ब्लॉगर्स ऐसे करते हैं, यूट्यूब का ऐसे है. Okay, then I would all my acquaintances, relatives, nieces, nephews, anyone I thought was Gen Z or Gen Alpha, I went and spoke to them. I was like, listen, what works on YouTube? Tell me how it goes. I tried being technical about it and all of that. And I think in 1 year, all I can say is you have to kind of do what comes naturally to you, which is how we started the channel anyway. And that works best long term. I think where you come with the agenda of wanting to get viral or become, that's totally cool if that's what you want. But I walked in with a whole different thing. It was already assumed this will be long term. And also initially how hard it was. I would say the first 3 or 4 months. It was daunting to shoot this. I have not been so nervous for a movie shoot, with all due respect. Like, I've given it all, but I never got so nervous. And this was all because it's so new, and it is, I think this wasn't there when I debuted in the movies. So to grapple with this concept that, theek hai, this is something you do. You speak and you make videos and you put it out there. And today I can say it's become a lot more natural to me. There is absolutely, I sleep well the previous day. There's no stress if you're shooting. And yeah, we have reached a stage where, you find a groove. That okay, this is what you want to put out there, and this is how we work.
Are you planning more lifestyle, fitness, travel, or something completely unexpected? I mean, what is that we are going to, what should we expect from your channel in the upcoming months?
So will I be doing more travel or more fitness or more vlogging or more podcasts? Guys, I have to be honest here. I'll be doing all of it, but I can't tell you in what sequence and when, because it's a little mood based. Okay, and how we learnt, that's how mammals work. It's like to figure what are your resources and accordingly decide what to do for that day and how to cook your food. And so guys, same thing goes for the creation process between me and my team in the last 365 days. We figured that if I have a mood that day, let's just work with it. It makes everything easier. Hawa ke jaise, chalo hawa, the breeze is going like this. It's easier to set your sail in accordance with the breeze. So guys, I do have phases, and now this whole working out thing is kind of beginning to gather momentum. So yeah, we will be starting videos on that. Regarding the podcast thing, which I was told since the word podcast was not there. But they would be like, you should have like one of those Oprah shows where you talk and all. I've heard that when I was 6. So guys, at some point I will also be doing that. I have these aspirations. I want to be a very pro vlogger, because I still have a doubt about kind of holding the phone and doing the selfie video and everything. But then guys, I travel so much and there are so many experiences, I think, which you guys would love to see through my eyes. So I decided that, okay, this year I'm going to do a whole, I'm going to practice vlogging. This is what I have planned for the channel, that we as a team are planning for the next 1 year. But all of this means nothing if I don't know what you guys feel like seeing. That is very, very important. As I said, connecting with you is very important. So last but not the least, I have to thank you guys. Guys, without you, the channel has no meaning. And the way it has kind of found its own graph. From the first video I did, which was Where Do I Fit In, to the last few recent videos we've been posting. I had the joy of watching, each video get slightly better. And then there were you, all of you who have been very, very, I would say, involved with feedback, with giving comments, with writing mails. In fact, I think very rarely, but there were 2 or 3 weeks where we didn't post anything. Some technical issue or something was not ready, and there were a bunch of you, not a small number. I know there are 15 to 20 people who have written, DM'd, emailed and said, ma'am, what happened? We were waiting for that video. You said you're going to post, you didn't post. Guys, that means a lot. It was, for the first time, I'm like, okay, it's not just me. There is someone out there who found XYZ video useful and we're looking forward to the part 2 of it. So guys, from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank you so much. And remember, I truly love you.